Hey guys, we're going into the first round of a Shadows over Innistrad draft. We drafted a black-white deck that is sort of like a tokens deck, but it also has a Delirium sub-theme in it, which I think is good. And this is a pretty good hand. We have a turn 2 Vessel, turn 3 Crow, turn 4 Geese's Bidding. And we may already just have Delirium at that point by the time we play our Reaper. So, since the Crow is going to throw stuff in our graveyard, the Vessel will throw itself in our graveyard at some point too. And this will go in our graveyard, obviously. So that alone, that'll probably get us to at least 3 cards. Right, well, hey, we drew a 2-drop. It's actually not that great right now because my opponent can just block it. And that's true of the Vessel tokens too, though. So I guess I'd play him, the 2-drop. We'll play our Crow next turn and see what happens. Yeah, this thing it does block so many creatures well on top of making a bunch of freaking clue tokens. It's just a good card. So flyers. Hey, there's one of our flyers. I think we play our Crow here. See what happens. Right, we threw our other Crow in there and a land. So yeah, sorcery, enchantment's what we need in there to hit Delirium. Of course, we also need lands just to play our Reaper, so that's worth noting. I'd probably play Geese's Bidding if I drew a land at this point. Get 2/2/2s. All right, we are just sort of staring at each other. That's interesting. I don't think we want to play it right now, but we did not draw the land I wanted to for the bidding. I think we just play our Shepherd and pass. I mean, we could take a turn to play the Vessel at some point, but looks like we took this away from that guy, since we're not, for us it's just a Windrake, but in his deck it would have actually done something. 2 spirits in play and he's blue-white, so he may have his own. Is he just like flooded over there? And we're the opposite? Kind of feels that way. Yeah, I'm going to go with Geese's Bidding here. They can start swinging, whereas my other this can too, once I have zombie tokens. See if he just counters that. I hope he doesn't. He didn't. Okay. So behind the scenes it's getting to be good though, because we're starting to go pretty wide, and our Vessel will help us go wide too. And if we draw a land next turn, we can go Vessel, crack the Vessel. Stupid Erdwall Illuminator, keeping me down. And behind the scenes doesn't do me a whole lot of good right now, but it would make it so... No, it wouldn't. These can both block everything I have, even if I... Unless he plays a spell or something. Okay. We could also just play our Reaper now, who can actually start swinging like right away, and then I can give her Delirium next turn. She can't start swinging this turn, obviously. I think we swing with our Spectral Shepherd and our 2 zombie tokens and see what happens there. Is this hand just filled with removal? That's possible. Alright, I'm pretty happy with those blocks. Especially if you can't do anything else. Oh, you've got something, though. Tenacity. Okay, that's pretty gross. We can't do anything about it. That'll make him big enough to survive, and it'll kill my guy, my Spectral Shepherd. So that went really well for our opponent, unfortunately for us. But we can still play our Reaper here. Wait, why didn't I play Throttle? I definitely should have played Throttle there on one of those creatures. That was a big mistake. I was like, I can't do anything, but I definitely could have. I had the mana. I was thinking I only had 4. And then once I played the Reaper, I was like, oh, I clearly have more than 4. Yeah, that's bad. Would have also given me Delirium, for whatever that's worth. Ugh. That's a big play mistake. Because, yeah, if I'd throttled this Niblis, although keeping my Shepherd might have been better. But throttling one of them would have been good. Purge. Okay, well, we're in trouble. Partly because of my poor play. If he swings with the Niblis here, I just block it. I would just take the Illuminator. I mean, if he plays another spell, his Niblis does survive, but it makes him play it. God, I'm stupid for not throttling. Silly throttle. Okay, he's probably got another spell, but I say we make him use it. Tenacity. Would have been good in our deck, too. It's good in a lot of decks. Exposing evil. Well, okay. Yeah, our opponent, that freaking Niblis is destroying our souls here. And he gets another clue, so yeah, this guy's deck is pretty sweet. Oh, there's our Westvale Abbey. Sad. Sad day. I can't block either of them anyway. So I think I swing. If he has like another Tenacity, this time I can at least use Throttle. Alright. I'm going to play the Vessel. And in my turn, we do want to get to Delirium, because if we draw like our board sweeper, we want to get that Angel afterwards. And this will get us there at the end of his turn. So he's splashing green. Ooh, that's ugly. That is ugly. I double block. I crack this and double block the Niblis, I think. Which he can then turn into a clue token. 2 clue tokens, actually. So our opponent really got there on the clue deck. It's pretty sweet. We did not get there. Well, we weren't building a clue deck, but I'm not. Our deck, I mean, we played into a lot of. There were a lot of bad exchanges in combat and the misplay that I made that contributed to us being so behind. Okay, he just wants to attack with that, and that's fine. He gets a clue out of 2 clues out of it, actually. So. Okay, I think now we have to throttle that, which will also get us Delirium, I think, so. Oh, we can't throttle it right now anyway. We have to wait till our turn. So we're going to go for the Spirit tokens. I mean, this turn he's not going to get a huge use out of his Forgotten Dude. So I don't necessarily need to throttle him immediately. I think maybe I just play my Companion. I can also attack with one of my Spirits. If I throttle that, I can attack with everything. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Let's do it. He's in top deck mode, but he also has 3 clues in play and a creature in his graveyard, so he's not really in top deck mode, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for a board state where playing Behind the Scenes actually does something. I guess if I played Behind the Scenes, I could have also swung with everything. So I'm playing really well today. Because if I had, then none of... And my Spirits can actually attack through the Niblis, at least, although the big problem is the Erdwall Illuminator, not the Niblis, because it can just block them. We are up to 5 card types in our graveyard, though. Yep. Niblis number 2. Ooh, that's good. We've been looking for something like that for a while. I mean, if I can get him to block, I would love to kill this Illuminator because it blocks so well most of my creatures, most of my spells. And if I play Behind the Scenes first and attack with my 2 Spirits, Although I may as well attack with everything at that point. Um, yeah. So the Illuminator can block a spirit. And it will, so... I would love if he decides to trade his Niblis here too. Although, I mean, he's eventually going to grind out card advantage over us, but... I mean, if he just chose to take one, I wouldn't hate it either, but with this in play, we can't really let Urdwall Illuminator live. You know, it's giving him 2 clues a turn, and that's eventually just going to kill us. So if we take away the thing that's giving him so many clues, I think we're happier. Okay, well I like that. That means we're going to take down 2 of his creatures here. We're going to Puncturing Light that thing. He is taking down one of our creatures too, but... Alright. But with Skulk, now my 2 spirits can just swing every turn. What do we want to draw? I mean, I wouldn't mind drawing our board sweeper. Let our opponent crack all his clues. But I don't want... I mean, I would like to have it in my hand, I guess. I would obviously not be playing it in the real near future. But it's worth noting we can swing with our spirits and pump both of them after he can't block them with behind the scenes in play. So that's pretty good, I think. Does he swing? I mean, he can also gain life is our big problem here. So he only has 1 green mana, so he can only do it once a turn. But gaining 2 life every turn is... and getting another clue, by the way. This thing is ridiculous. Compare it to ours. I mean, that one is so good. It's one of the better of them. I said that as in my set review before I even played the format, and I think it's still true that it's either the best or one of the best of this cycle of the pseudo-gold signpost cards that tell you what your archetype should be. All right. We will take 2. He gets a clue. Interesting. Well, now I think we just play our Geist in our second main phase. It can block this pretty effectively, and it gains us life, which is relevant. So if he takes 4, he goes to 9, but then he goes to 11 at the end of my turn, on top of drawing a bunch of cards. But yeah, I think we definitely want to play our Geist here. All right, we have our spirits, so we go back up to 18, and we end our turn. What are you doing? Not just cracking a bunch of clues? No, okay. Well, it can't block anything, so at least we have that going for us. But I do see our opponent just grinding us out and beating us because of ongoing investigation. We don't have a purge or anything like that to deal with it. And our opponent just keeps drawing cards. Although, somehow, he's only 1 card deeper than we are. What did we do? Oh, we milled ourselves. That's why. Yeah, our Crow milled us for 4 cards. So he's drawn 5 extra cards in the game. Yeah, I don't really want to block it. I mean, I guess it could be nice, but... There's his Apothecary Geist. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, our 2 spirit tokens can get through no matter what we do. I probably want to play Harvest Hand and Kathar's Companion. I can do both. But yeah, I think we attack with these 2 flyers. That does mean we take some in the air next turn, but... I mean, there's also something to be said for me just leaving mana up, I think. That might be something I do later. I mean, Harvest Hand can't actually block anything. And the Companion at least presents my opponent with something he has to, that trades with everything he has. But if I just leave mana up, I probably should have just done that. But I don't think it's as good now that I only have one flying blocker. So I think I just empty my hand here. And hope for the best. So, I mean, if we pump our whole team, we're in pretty good shape. But I think our opponent has just drawn too many cards. Like, he can play several creatures here and just beat us that way. Like, keep us from winning anyway. I guess it wouldn't beat us. He can only gain 2 life right now, it's worth noting. Damn, that Vessel of Ephemera. Man. He wasn't able to block my spirits, but now he can if he cracks that. Would I play my board sweeper right now? I probably would. I'd probably swing with everything and then play it. My Harvest Hand would stay in play if it gets killed in combat. And then I could equip it to my Angel. Descend upon the Sinful would be... I mean, the downside is I don't get my Ghoul Collar thing from the graveyard, but... I mean, I definitely block one of these flyers. Well, I don't know if I block that one. Yeah, I don't want to block that one. Let's give him a clue. Ooh, there it is. Okay, that's interesting. I guess I could have blocked and pumped. No, I couldn't have. The bad news about doing it is that my opponent has this Vessel. So it may not be the best thing to do. 2, 4. I take 8 on the backswing minimum, and actually it's more like 10. But if I attack with everything, my opponent has to block, and no matter what, he loses creatures because of behind the scenes. This would be pretty sweet with Cathar's Companion if it didn't exile, because it would be indestructible. It would survive the board sweep, and then, yeah. All right, so we're going to swing with everything. What's happening right now? Oh, yeah, that. Well, he's cracked that now, which is good for us, I think. That is good for us. I mean, depending on how he blocks, we may not even need to play Descend Upon the Sinful just yet. Yeah, we definitely went wide enough for behind the scenes to at least be like a problem for our opponent. It's worth noting he can gain 2 life right now. So when we're calculating like lethal. So this leaves him with 7 damage, and we would lose 1 spirit token, and he would take... I mean, he can't block like that. He's dead if he does. Even gaining 2 because he takes 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. He takes 14 if he just takes this all. He does have a card in his hand, it's worth noting. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, there we go. Makes a little more sense. Well, we may not need to Descend Upon the Sinful since we forced our opponent against, into a situation where he has to be blocking, and it's not very good. Now he takes 3, 6. Yeah, I think we just use Descend Upon the Sinful here. I mean, not Descend, our behind the scenes. Yeah, that's fine. That's how I want to block. So we're going to pump them all. That means these 2 spirits die. He could have another Tenacity. That would be ugly. That would be ugly. Very ugly. If he has another Tenacity, we just lose. Oh, God, no. No, Tenacity costs more than that. He's just gaining life. Whew! Yeah, Tenacity costs 4, so... Alright. Okay. Kill a bunch of stuff and drop him to 4. And then we have Descend Upon the Sinful in our back pocket. Too bad my Harvest Hand didn't die. Well, I was talking bad about this, but it definitely just played a big role in us suddenly being ahead in this game and our opponent trying to dig for something. Okay. Can't block any of my creatures, so I have that going for me. That can't. That's what I mean. My spirit can't be blocked by anything. He can gain 2 more life this turn, though. It's worth noting. So, luckily, there's nothing that can make me discard Descend Upon the Sinful in his colors, which is good because I don't want to. I like having it in my back pocket. Like, we can start holding on to creatures now. Just like swinging for 1 a turn, things like that. Although, if this transforms, it'll completely destroy me, so it may be worth it to actually leave my spirit token back. Like, just attack with Harvest Hand or something. Since if it dies, I can then equip my spirit, stuff like that. Although, that's not the most amazing. Giving this Menace might be pretty good. Because it gets Menace if it's a human. And he is a human. Alright. Okay. What do we do here? I think we attack with everything again. This time, though, he can just take it. Oh, no, he can't because of behind the scenes. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we can basically just keep throwing our guys into harm's way because we have Descend Upon the Sinful in our hand, too, so. Let's see what he's got for us. All right. Which do I hate more? Probably the Niblis. Wait a second. I can do 5 to you, and then you can gain 2. But it's probably worth it. I kill another of his creatures. I can also get a zombie back from my graveyard, though, if I decide not to pump here. Which isn't necessary, really, for me to kill a creature. But being able to get a zombie back after Descend Upon the Sinful is pretty good, too. Which I'm not going to use Descend this turn, but I'm probably going to have to use it eventually. I think we kill the guy with Prowess. So I think we leave it that way. And then I think we pump our team again. So he goes to 1 here. Oh, now I kill both of them. That's right. Wow. So we're in really good shape. I was forgetting that I was pumping him too, just thinking he was dead. So, man, maybe behind the scenes is better than I gave it credit for, huh? Let's see if this transforms. It does not. It can't block either of my creatures, though, and my opponent can only gain 2 more life. I'm sorry, behind the scenes. Turns out you're pretty good. You're still terrible in multiples, though. Okay, digging. Little does he know we have Descend Upon the Sinful if things get scary for us. I mean, we've definitely, especially when you have Descend Upon the Sinful in your hand and you can just keep, like, throwing your guys into harm's way and not caring because eventually you're going to use Descend Upon the Sinful anyway. He's, like, digging for something to block my spirit token or bounce it, I'm guessing. Although he has to block this. So he needs 2 things who can block because the researcher can't block either of them. This is still game 1, man. This is a marathon. It's interesting that he decided to double block my guy. I guess he just wanted to make sure it died, but it was a 2-for-1. So we haven't drawn any cards with Delirium other than Descend, right? Right. So we do still have a few more. We have our own 2/2 Moreland Drifter and our Ox. I definitely want to side in extra flyers. I don't remember if I have any, but that's what we're going to want to do. Okay. That is pretty good. Makes it even harder for his dude to block, though. All right, well, let's see if we can just win swinging here. I mean, kind of looks like we can. If I play Inspiring Captain, I can't still pump my team. He does have 3 cards in his hand, so there's some chance he can do something. But if he can, if something happens here and we don't win, I can use Descend Upon the Sinful to just win. So, oh, he can gain 2 life again. That's what it is. Damn. We might have to use Descend Upon the Sinful. This stupid life gaining. Oh, yeah, he has to be able to block one of them still, too, though. I mean, he has to block one, and he has to kill 2 or block one and kill the other, so. I guess I could have played Inspiring Captain there, actually. That would have probably been better. Costs 1 less mana. But if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to play Descend Upon the Sinful if something goes wrong here. Looks like we got there. Oh! Something's happening. Okay. Well, now it's. I think we pump our team because this will take him up. No, that'll take him up to 3. That's not enough for us to want to pump our team just yet. Because he's still dead to 3 damage here. Right, he's got something else though. Just the wind. Okay, so we can only drop him to 2. Grindy. Okay. I don't think we pump because dropping him to 2 is pretty reasonable. All right, we just do the 1. Then we can play Harvest Hand and get a zombie out of our graveyard. Oh, no, we can. I haven't played a land yet. So, yeah, we'll play Harvest Hand. And we're going to go for the zombie. I mean, if we can avoid playing Descend Upon the Sinful, I think we should. Trying to go wide here is good, though, because my opponent doesn't exactly have a lot of life. Okay, so if it transforms, it did not. If it transformed, we'd still be alive, but we'd be at 2, so a little risky. Our opponent's drawn almost his entire deck, which is not great for us. But somehow our behind the scenes seems to be beating. It's basically a face-off of those 2. And definitely this has kept him alive. And this has made it so we keep almost killing him, but it's not quite enough. Draws a card. Keep on drawing cards. That means you're in trouble. I wonder if he just runs 1 forest for ongoing investigation. If he could do it twice a turn, we'd be in trouble. A decent amount of it. We've used 12 minutes and they've used 15, so this game has been a long one. What does he have now? Descend Upon the Sinful. That would be bad. I mean, we can just follow it up with our own, I guess, but okay. Yeah, that's going to kill us next turn, so that's worth noting. Is he going to tap out? What's he tapping out for? I think that means we win because your guy's too big to block my guys. This 2/2 and 1/1 both get through because of Skulk. Probably shouldn't have tapped out. All right. Well, we won that grindy matchup. It was an interesting one, and he does not know we have Descend Upon the Sinful, which I think is an important piece of information to have after you manage to win game one. Do we have any extra random flyers in our sideboard? No. I mean, I guess this is kind of a random flyer. This does kill a lot of things in his deck. I could cut like, no, I don't really want to do that. Yeah, maybe I do. Unruly Light for, Unruly Mob for Explosive Apparatus. This Ox is a little less good against him than it is against most, because almost all of his creatures fly. Do we see a creature who didn't fly? I don't know if we did. I mean, he still swings for 3 if you have Delirium, but... yeah, I don't think I'm going to change anything. All right. This is a keep. I mean, we have early removal, we have a Harvest Hand, and then we have big Descend Upon the Sinful. We can get halfway to Delirium decently quickly with just with this hand. I don't think we just like don't play anything and then just use Descend Upon the Sinful. I don't like doing that because bad things definitely can happen. I think we want to play stuff and be aggressive, and then if things fall apart, we have Descend Upon the Sinful to follow it up. Plus, we don't have Delirium, so the Descend isn't really amazing at this point. I mean, it's fine, but it's not amazing. Yeah, we're going to put dead weight on that. See you later. We're going to swing for 2. He's missing white this time. All right, another one. Well, I think we swing. Yeah, didn't think he'd want to trade. Yeah, I'll play Harvest Hand. If it gets in the graveyard, but it's not going to, so because it never goes in the graveyard unless they destroy the flip side of it for some reason. All right, gets in for 3 that we can't do anything about. Well, there we go. We'll swing. We'll play our Abby. And we're gonna play our Crow, leaving mana up for Puncturing Light. Alright, 3 card types. That means if we play Puncturing Light, we get Delirium. So that's pretty good. This Crow is so underrated. I've had decks where I drafted like 4 of them. It happens less now. I think people are realizing that it's good, but it used to be pretty easy to do. Well, that's a nuisance. It might even be better to Puncturing Light that thing than in anything else. Well, there's our old friend behind the scenes. Let's play it. Doesn't do anything right now, but it will. And I think we just pass and leave mana up because we don't have any good attacks no matter what we do here. We can sort of pull off the sweet, like Puncturing Light this guy. This has flying and then block his Niblis. I mean, but I'd probably block his Niblis with my Crow first. Drifter. All right. Well, there's a Spectral Shepherd. So, I mean, we do have Puncturing Light, and we do have her behind the scenes, which right now just means all his creatures die if they block. I think we attack and save the mana to be used for behind the scenes and see what happens. If he just took it all, I think I'd be okay with it. I think I used my turn here to pump mana into behind the scenes. It's probably worth it. Yep, it was worth it, especially because my opponent couldn't do anything. We did not get Delirium off my Crow dying, though, which is sad. We lost our Emissary. We do have our opponent down to 11. We have a great, like, if our opponent pulls way ahead of us card to just get us back in the game, especially because we're going to get Delirium one way or another between Throttle and Puncturing Light here, so. Angelic Purge. Oh, man. Yeah, that's mean. Why would you do that to me? Okay. Well, I think we swing back and play our Shepherd. So we can Puncturing Light one of these. I think we probably want to declare a block first on the Niblis and then Puncturing Light it. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards anyway. Ooh. Well, that ain't going to work this turn because that's a 4-3 now. I'll probably still Puncturing Light the Drifter. Gives my Drifter flying. Yeah, this against Skulk is so bad. I mean, that's probably why my opponent was like, I need to get rid of that thing because... I mean, I could also just descend, although I need an instant in my graveyard for it to be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and use Puncturing Light on this thing, which does give me Delirium. We'll take the 4, though. Okay. So I think we attack with everything. Be ready to use Throttle. That flies now, by the way. I mean, if he uses a spell of some sort here to try to save it. What you got? Okay, so I think we use Throttle. We drop our opponent to 3, so it's going to be really hard for him to come back. We may never even have to cast Descent Upon the Sinful in this match. Yeah, he's digging for something. He needs 2 blockers or a removal spell and a blocker to not die here. Why'd you tap green for that, man? You could have gained some life. Now you can't. I mean, works for me, I guess. We attack with everything. And we win. Yep. Well,